Moms want. Hi, my name is Casey. If you are new here, if you are an OG, welcome back. I have thought about doing this video for a while now. Our selves are very different than our mother selves. I also don't know how YouTube feels about this, so I might have to reword things. Navigating your being while also being a mother or wife or single lady. I've been them all, and Mother's Day is right around the corner, so shout out to us. I was thinking women hearing me talk about this subject will hopefully loosen up some of the restrictions, boundaries, shame, conditioning, because it's deep. It's lineage. It's really hard to be a mother, to show up as a mother and also still be deeply connected to your sensual self, especially when your kids are young, when your babies are babies. Our brains are just constantly like in mommy mode, and we have so much to think about, worry about. Like, I was one of those moms that would just stare at my babies while they're sleeping just to make sure their chest is going up and down and they're breathing. My kids are older now. Bianca will be 13 next week. Noah's 16, Mariah's 19. My oldest is 21. If I knew then what I knew now, like if I could do it all again with everything being the same way it is right now, like nothing changed, just some like crazy magical shit, I wish I knew to take time for myself, whether that be meditation, dance, and not in the club. I'm talking about moving my hips to sexy music, getting really in tune with my body, really connect with myself, embodiment work. But no one is really teaching us that. And as someone that went down a path of really losing herself and coming to, okay, I gotta find myself. When you're a mom and your babies are babies or toddlers, you really lose that sensuality, that sexual connection with yourself. We tend to lose our femininity. When you are in your mother brain for so long, you really don't know how to connect with your yoni, and you're not worried about your yoni. And I wish I could say as they get older, it gets easier. And in some cases it does, but there are still obstacles. So funny shame story here. I live in a pretty small house. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's a small house. Now, my oldest doesn't live with me, but I still have 3 kids in my house, 3 teenagers. And when I first started dating a couple years ago, my now boyfriend, I got in a little bit of trouble in the beginning. Basically, we were heard doing the do, and they let me know the next day, and I was like, no. So I had to explain things in my own way. They were angry, I was embarrassed, and I shut shit down. It sucked. And I had to work through some shame. I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. And just, again, super embarrassed. And so I obviously had to change things, like be quiet. But trying to have intimacy with teenagers through the lens of a mom. If you have teenagers, you know they go to bed at like 50 o'clock, and by that time we're tired. And it's like, we want intimacy, and if your rooms are really close to each other, really close together, you can have intimacy, but it can only be a certain kind, like no flavor. You know, certain sounds are obvious. And intimacy becomes this strategic thing and so planned, which is fine. But it's hard to get that organic, super sexy, fun time. And I don't think that we talk about this culturally enough. You know, we're living in a common space with our kids who we love, our little roommates, and they are around all of the time. And you want to get it on. It's hard. The alternative is to go to their house. Like, if you're not living together, like my situation, me and my boyfriend don't live together. He lives at his house, I live here, and when he doesn't have his kids, we spend time together. You know, I can go to his house. I prefer my partner to come to my house. And I would love to hear your guys' unique challenges that you face being a single mom and trying to navigate your life. And it does depend on your dynamic. Maybe you're married, you've been together for a long time, and you have this all figured out. I know it is difficult for single moms because we're going to work every day. There's a lot of being in your masculine energy because we are in this world of doing it all. We are playing both worlds, and that kind of translates into this chaotic feminine energy, and we're taking care of the bills, the food, the driving, and we just have no choice. And we have to create practices to get out of that space, out of that masculine energy, and ground ourselves again and find ways to show up as your feminine self. Women sometimes colluded with this idea of themselves as modest or passionless because that way they can look pure and innocent, avoid criticism, and appear stronger. It can be extremely risky to look knowing, experienced, or in any way needy as a woman. And it has also been hard for women to give expression to what they want or to even recognize their own desires in the first place. Moms want, however, a lot of moms are repressing their desires. And this is just my observation through having conversations about this topic with moms. A lot of this repression comes from religion, comes from trauma. On my own journey, I feel like I have found liberation to a positive life. And I truly believe that the key to make the conscious, deliberate decision to do it without guilt is truly like slamming the door on guilt and shame and giving it the middle finger. I am choosing to do this for myself because this is what I want. These urges are as natural as thirst or hunger, especially when you have so many negative programs running about that are negative. You have to kind of tell yourself over and over, there's nothing wrong with this. This is completely natural. This is completely normal. This is part of being alive and human. So when it comes to things like life force energy for men, that would be, we've been told, hold it in, don't release it. And yes, there's value in that. There are athletes that repress, right? And at the same time, it's medicine, and you can take that medicine, and when it does release from your body, from your being, you can use that as magic. And on my spiritual journey, I kind of struggled with that. Like dimming my life force energy down did not resonate with me. Who says what the rules are? Guess what? I do. Who's the boss? I am. I'm the fucking boss. So not only are we navigating through motherhood, we are also moving through our own beliefs. And it can feel so complicated. How do I act online? How do I show up? Do I show up as this intense sexual being that I am? Or do I show up as this calm, conscious woman that journals and 3 deep breaths and breath work? Be confident, but not too confident. Wear certain clothes, or can I just be me? And just realizing like my body is very much mine. I control what happens to it, what it feels, what I want it to look like, what I wear, who I share it with. That power is all mine. I realize nothing I can do will ever make my body any less mine or be any less beautiful or worthy of pleasure. I also had to realize any preconceived notions of kinky or dirty sex are just narratives by a religious and patriarchal society that I really don't care about. And I'm telling you this because the next step is accepting your desires and what feels good for you. I'm also in a space where I'll try everything. I'll try anything once. Like you can't knock it until you try it. As long as you are consenting and comfortable, there's nothing dirty about any kind of that you want to have. You do you. It's also been important for me to prioritize my body and its pleasure. And it really has taught me how to be present. When I was younger, my life looked a lot different because I would be thinking like, what do I look like? What do I sound like? Am I doing this right? and I was never really present. I was always kind of beside myself. So again, it has taught me to be more present and in the moment, and to communicate. Communication is so important. So if your mind is occupied with other things, it's not going to be pleasurable for you, and you're not going to get your O. It's not always about the big O, but you're not going to get the same amount of pleasure if you're living in your head. Also, having a more positive life and outlook when it comes to sensuality and intimacy is learning how to be in my body. Again, being a mom, we are always in our heads, always. And it's really hard for us to get back into our bodies. And so that's why it's important to come up with practices that can help you with that. I'm all about like taking your time, getting into your body, having like a full experience. And I'm also all about quickies. I think quickies are amazing, and sometimes life calls for a quickie. If you are alone and you don't have a partner right now, I think it's a great opportunity to explore your own body and what you like, what you don't like, and then you can take that experience and then share it when you do find someone that you choose to be intimate with. Navigating your life is a process. It can take a while. If you are not open to having sex right now, then match freely as much as you want. Go buy a toy. Create those milestones at your own pace. And I do want to share some of my favorite quickie toys. These are my go-tos for a quickie. If you are the type of person that takes forever to have an O, first toy I want to share with you, I have it in my little duster here. The Womanizer OG will change your life. I've talked about this toy before. I love it. Air Pulse toys are incredible. Just can't say enough about it. The Womanizer OG is the first pleasure air vibrator. So there's two types of stimulation, meaning double the pleasure. You can use this internally or externally. I highly recommend exploring this toy. I get all of my toys from Fascinations. This video isn't sponsored. I do have a code if you guys want to save some money. You can save 20% off with stillglam20. I know some of these toys can be a little pricey, so if you do decide to pick up a new toy and get your pleasure on, I highly recommend you use that code to save 20% off. I will leave these linked down below if you guys are interested. This is my newest addition to my collection. This is the California Dream Montecito Muse Dual Stimulation Vibe. This toy has a dual stimulator. It combines vibrating power with remarkable, feels so amazing, sensation of automatic inflation. The unique contours, so this expands, it inflates, and it is so satisfying. So it has 3 independent inflation settings designed to caress the G with precision. So this feature is tailored for targeted stimulation. So it's going to work in harmony with 10 different functions. So you have the vibration, you have the pulsation, and you have the escalation in the stimulator. Love a dual motor. It ensures that every setting is felt intensely, so you're getting a symphony of sensations. I'm very confident that this will get you from 0 to 100 very quickly. This is the Intrigue Pearla sucking clamshell. I firmly believe every woman should own a toy. What it looks like, this is where it sucks. This is very similar to the trending rose toy. However, I do prefer this one over the rose. This one is so much easier to clean, and the shape just fits so much nicer down there, and it does the exact same thing, and it's cheaper. So again, this clamshell design uses air suction to suck, and it's incredible. I love the shape of it. It fits so perfect in the palm of your hand. There are 7 levels of amazing pressure, super easy to use, great for beginners. It has one single button to control the intensity. So those are 3 of my favorite quickie toys. You can't go wrong with any of them. I will link them down below. If you shop at funlove.com or go into a Fascination store, make sure you use that code STILLGLAM20 to save some money, honey. Now, for couples, it's so important that you have time alone without the kids. This is something that a lot of parents forget about when, you're working, you're cleaning, you're trying to be great parents. Reconnect without the children there. When you're a parent, it's almost like you're constantly in that parent role. Give you a friendly reminder. I recommend you plan that shit out. Commit to planning things together, and this will actually make you a better parent. And I say all of this to create a safe space for women. It's okay to look at this aspect of your life. It's okay to be curious. It's okay to improve it. We live in a world of information right now. The more information you take in, it's overwhelming. So you really gotta filter. So good luck to you all. I wish you nothing but liberation, peace, and love. Is fun, it's empowering, and you deserve to feel those feelings when you are ready. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up. It shows me that you care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
You say you wanna make it happen. You know what I want. Don't try to fight the heavens. Good girls aren't the one.